cool, and I'd like to do it for the rest of my life. So I wish I would have started much earlier.
Good answer. Good answer. I'll pay you later. Yeah, compositing is great. Like, how many of you like using Photoshop? Raise hands. Right? Compositing, yeah, not anymore. Compositing it's moving Photoshop. That's really all it is. It's moving Photoshop. So if you like putting stuff together in Photoshop, why not make it move? Even better. Pitch over. Let's see what else we have here. What was your biggest challenge? What was the biggest challenge you faced over the 3 months you were at Digital Domain?
Color correction. Because I haven't taken color theory. I'm taking color theory right now. I sort of hopped over it in my freshman year to take a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, color correction in digital compositing, it's super hard because you have to take what's real, you have to take what's fake and change the colors to make it like feel like it's in the same place as something real, and that's super hard.
Yeah, also for me, but not only color grading, but also like integrate the CG models with the live action footage. Like as he mentioned, it's just 1 second, and I worked on it for like 3 weeks. And like even though they shot on the rooftop, the 2 people running on the rooftop, they changed the whole environment, even the rooftop. Like it's really difficult, like including matching the CG model with the live action footage, but also the matte painting behind. Like everything has to look great, and like it have to make sense because you need to make it as realistic as possible.
Good. Okay, next question. What do you think best prepared you for this internship?
Your class.
Once again, I'll pay you after.
Bonus.
For me, except from your class, like even more like assistance.
Good. What on the flip side of that, to follow that up, what were you least prepared for going into this internship?
Everything. Because I mean, yes, your class like really prepared us, but it's like your class times 11. It was way harder than we'd ever expected it to be. And like day one, after leaving work that day, we were just like so tired. Just like we didn't know like what we got into, but it was still we managed to get it done.
Yeah, because like for me, I was really shocked that like how difficult Photoshop is. It's like the whole new level that I didn't expect. Like comparing across like my compositing shop is way more easier than that. Like when I'm working there, I realized like I learned a lot from them. Like then I also realized my mistake that I made. So it's really improving.
Elma, you mentioned you had like a punch in the face moment. Noah, did you have anything like that? It does feel like when your supervisor's like, this is horrible, it feels like when somebody punched you in the gut. It really does. Did you have any moments like this?
Yeah, I spent the entire day just changing colors by 0.1. And at the end of the day, my supervisor was like, this is the wrong direction. Do it again. And I'm just like, punch in the face.
Yeah, so that's why after that day I asked him to take a break, not watching tutorials, just rest. Because like when you keep working and keep learning, sometimes you really need a break because like you don't want to let yourself feel drained. You also need to relax and return back to work, recharge, or full energy.
That is really good advice. And anybody who's taken my class in the last couple terms, we stretch every single class. I try to remember to get us to stretch and get out. It is important. Like your body's a machine, right? Like it needs to be taken care of and upkept, and there's a diminishing returns. You know, all-nighters, sometimes they're needed, but they shouldn't be the default. Because there is that wall you hit where your brain is just like, nope, not doing this anymore. So along those lines, along with take breaks and take care of yourself, what would be your number one piece of advice to current students looking to secure an internship of this caliber, whether it be in visual effects or animation or fashion or whatever?
Always have your portfolio ready. I know it's really busy for you study this for the entire quarter, but whenever you have a chance, if you have weekends or your holiday, build your own website, update your resume, and also update your demo reel if you have, because you don't know when will a job opportunity appears to you. It just comes right in front of you. If you don't prepare, the opportunity will just go away. So better prepared. Especially for the SCAD day, the SCAD, there are so many companies that SCAD invited to SCAD, so really have to prepare yourself for that.
I would say just put the work in, because clients and people in the industry, they can really tell when something is wrong or something's off. So make sure to know your foundations and to really work hard on whatever your major is, and put in hours and hours and hours into that work and make sure it's perfect, so that these clients will know that you're good enough for what they're working on.
Also, one more thing. Apart from working on your own assignments, it's better for you to have other than schoolwork, to have your own work. It's better than that, because if a bunch of animation students or visual effects students go to the same company and show them the same thing, it's gonna be you won't stand out. So it's better to have your own work other than school assignment.
Good. Also along those lines, I'm gonna put us in the hot seat. What could SCAD in general, or the professors, do better to prepare you guys for these types of eventualities? No pressure.
More extra help session.
More extra help session.
Because I found out that's one quarter you hold extra help session every single week, every Friday, and it actually motivates students, encourages students to come back to SCAD and work together.
I would say make it a requirement to watch tutorials outside of class. Because if you're just learning what's inside of class, it's just 2.5 hours every class session. It's not enough. So if you could find some excellent resource and just be this is where you should find all these things that are helpful for you. Watch them, and watch them and practice them, and that's how you'll improve. Something like that. Just something extra outside of class.
Extra resources.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. How many of you know about what is it called? LinkedIn Learning. LinkedIn Learning used to be called Lynda. How many of you, honestly, on a show of hands, have watched Lynda? Good. Every hand in here should be up. Use it. I used to say that you get Lynda for free, and one student was like, "No, we pay tuition," and I was like, "Okay, you get it with your tuition." But it is wildly expensive, and it's not even just for your major. There's personal finance, there's leadership, there's public speaking, there's everything. There's so much stuff on there, and if you don't take advantage of it, that's like going to a buffet and only going to the salad bar once. There's so much. And Noah, I'm really glad that you brought up that there is so much information out there for all of you, for the taking. There's just so much free stuff out there. You just have to go find it. You have to have, like Elma said, you have to have that passion. You have to say, oh, Professor Bentley showed us this, or Professor Jake showed us this. I want more. We only have, less than a working week face-to-face time with you guys. That is not enough. It's not enough. So you have to have that passion. We show you the path through the woods. It's up to you to walk that path. So I have two more questions. What are you tired of people asking you about this internship? And how can you, for once and for all, answer that question for everybody?
What's visual effects?
What's compositing? I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Can you not?
Many people ask me not what is visual effects, but mainly about the experience during the internship. How the staff, are they nice, and what we need to do also. But when I explain, not many people could understand.
I think that's it for my questions. We're going to open it up to the audience. So I'm going to come out. You guys can keep your mics. I'll bring the mic out to the audience. Does anybody have any questions? First of all, let's give them another round of applause. Amazing accomplishment. Foot is in the door. That's all it takes. One foot in the door. All right. Who's got questions?
Which is your favorite Transformer?
I really, really like Optimus Prime. I'm a basic bitch like that.
So, hi, I would like to ask Noah. So, I'm glad to hear that you are Transformer fans and me too.
Yeah!
Go hug.
I would like to ask which Transformer character you like at most, and do any digital work that is related to Transformer, and which one is the best?
I said I really like Optimus Prime, but I haven't really gone into creating visual effects for Transformers. I do plan to though, because I recently watched a short film on YouTube that was completely CGI done by one guy, and it was a Warhammer 40K film called Astartes or something. It was really, really good, and it was also created by one guy. So I'd really, really like to do something like that, but related to Transformers. I have no plans yet, but it's in my brain.
For both of you, is the professional world everything you expected it to be, and more or less?
For us, the expectation, as I mentioned, the industry standards are really high, especially when we start working. It's just the blue screen instruction, but they require, they have a really higher standard and requirement for us. So yeah, it's more than we expect.
You're not really prepared for the amount of notes that you get. I would keep a notepad open on my desk, and it's just full of notes from the supervisor, change this, change that, and it's pages long, and you're not really prepared for the amount of critique, because we all have critiques in our classes, right? But in the industry, it's way more than that, and I think the initial when those things are finally thrust upon you, you're not really prepared for it. But I do enjoy it. It makes you better.
Thank you.
So you guys are both seniors, right? Or
Juniors.
You're both juniors. Okay. Are you ready to graduate? So tomorrow, SCAD stops existing. You get a job. What do you do? Are you ready? Are you not ready? I love you both.
For me, I still need a bit of time. I exists in this internship opportunity. Because if I don't have any internship experience before I graduate, maybe when I get a job after I graduate and it's not what I expect, maybe I need to change my direction. Maybe I need to change my focus. Like, because this internship, I found that, oh, maybe compositing is really not my thing, but I still like it. Maybe I will decide to go into a smaller company so I can work on compositing, matte painting, and even concept art. So I can focus on different things. So right now, I know I can focus on different things, not only compositing, so I have more time to work on different things and learn more.
I don't know whether or not to say I'm ready yet, but I will accept like the challenge of like finding a job and all that. I mean, once I added digital domain to my LinkedIn profile, I started getting like messages from recruiters and stuff from like NBC and Milfilm, and I'm like, whoa, what's happening? This didn't happen before. But yeah, so I'll just, as usual, like I'll just take the opportunities that I'm given.
One more question, and then we'll wrap up.
Noah, you say that it's important to keep learning and to expand your horizons. So you talked about doing DigiFast Mash and all these different things that were outside of the VFX scope. Compared to ELMA, who has more of a focus on a very particular part of VFX, what do you think is great about having an expanded horizon and knowing more stuff and doing more stuff associated with other majors?
Well, doing more stuff associated with other majors is always going to make you a better artist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm part of the 3M's drawing club, and everyone is like a different major in that. There's painting majors, there's graphic design, there's even game design, animation, and SQA, and because of that, you learn little things from everybody there. Like, I said I'm bad at color theory, but I'm surrounded by painters who are really good at it. So, learning a lot of things from outside your major is always going to be helpful to you and make you a better artist. And that's why I enjoy expanding my horizons like that.
All right, we have time for one more question.
I want to ask, do you feel familiar with, while you are in internship, do you feel familiar with the environment in there, and what language do people speak in there? Do you speak English with them or speak Mandarin? And yeah, thank you.
I'm glad that you brought that up because it's a big company, big film company. I expect like people there to speak English and Mandarin, but then I found out all of them just speak Mandarin, like 99% of them. And luckily there's one staff is from Hong Kong, so the boss there asked him to help both of us. So he can translate Cantonese to us and English for him.
His name is Tony Zhang, and he's the reason why we survived.
All right, give it up one more time. Thank you very, very much. I'll leave you on a quote.